Good morning, girls. Today I want to take us through the test that you guys did, the task that you were given to do last week, I think it was. So it was basically a comprehension and it was on language features. So I just want to take you through sort of the problem areas that I thought that we're going to need to discuss. So you're going to need to take notes while you're watching this video, just so you can see where you made your mistakes and why those were probably viewed as mistakes. First of all, when you're dealing with something where you have to read something and then answer questions about that thing, um, you need to read it more than once. So I see here, and I don't think it's probably an indication, but if you look here, the actual summer house, it says you viewed it one time. So something that I'm going to want to know from you guys at the end of this video, because we're going to call back at the end of the video, I want you to tell me how many times you read the story Summer House before you actually answered the question. Okay. Something else that you should probably also consider when you're doing this kind of work, when you're doing a comprehension, where they give you something to read and then they give you the questions. Maybe think about reading the questions first. Okay, so the next assignment that we're going to do, I want you to read the questions first and then read the extract. Because when you read the questions, it kind of makes you think about what the answers are as you're reading the extract. Okay, so in future, try and skip to the end if it's possible on this program. Try and skip to the actual questions, go through the questions first, and then go back and read the comprehension piece or whatever piece that you've been given, and see maybe if your answers will be a little bit different if you do it that way. Okay. Um, so something that I wanted to sort of rectify or maybe explain a little bit more was the language features in a story. So they explained here in the language features of a story, they said, now that you've read the passage, let's learn more about language features. And this may have confused you, the fact that they call it language features. And then they say in the next line, language features are important because they make stories more unique and interesting to read. They let writers communicate exactly what they mean by painting a picture in the writer's mind. So the questions, the extract here used a lot of similes and it used a lot of metaphors, and in the next slide, I think it is the next slide. In the next slide, it speaks about how writing can be seen, it can be boring if you say it as it is, but if you use the mist rolled smoothly and powerfully in amongst the mountains, like it was a silvery ocean, and the crags were giant wading slowly towards the horizon. So the thing about this sentence is that it basically means there was mist around the mountains. Okay, it's quite literal. But what they mean when they say about painting pictures is that the writer wants to show you what it looks like when the mist, write that down. The point of this of using such beautiful imagery. Now, when writing paints a picture in your mind, that is called imagery. Okay. The reason why, I hope you wrote that down. When a picture is painted in your mind, that is called imagery. Okay. And when they do that, the intention of the intention the intention of using imagery is to paint a picture in your mind, and the intention is to show you, not to tell you. So if you look at this first example, there was mist around the mountains. The writer is telling you, okay? But all of this description here is showing you what the mist looks like in the mountains. Okay, so it's to paint a picture in your mind so you have a clearer picture and it's more vivid and it's more unique. Okay, so why am I telling you all of this? Let's have a look at, I had a look at some of your answers. Here you have to show the effect. So they've given you the extract and they want to know what that extract means, what that piece of writing means. So I had a look at some of these, and the question says, why does the author repeat the word buzz multiple times? It's important when they ask you a question like this, first of all, you need to go back to where where that word buzz is, go back to it in the extract. That's why they give you the extract. Do you see? That's why they give you the extract. You need to go back and find it, and then you need to try and figure out why it's there. Okay, that is what effect means. Write it down. Effect means, why did they use that word? What is the effect? Okay, remember what I said to you? They want to show us. They don't want to tell us. So what do they want to show us when they are using this buzz word? Okay, and then when you think about that, when you think about the showing, then you think about the answers. To make the sound seem more humorous, is that a way of showing us? No, because if I want to show you, I want you to see in your mind. Doesn't really make sense. To make the writing feel more realistic, I mean, that could work. To make the reader fall asleep if you're not showing him anything. To capture the sound of the cicadas in the summer. So they want to show us what it sounds like. Okay, show instead of tell, right? And then if we're looking at the next one, also an effect one. What does the word thick and heavy tell us about the heat? Here again, please make sure they give you this on purpose. If you even want to click the audio and listen to the audio, okay? Don't ever take it for granted that you read an extract one time and you're going to remember everything. Read it more than once. And even when they talk about thick and heavy, tell us about the heat. Find it. Find it in the extract. Where is it in the extract? Read that section again before you answer the question, okay? Remember, again, the question is, what does it tell us about the heat? Think of it in terms of show. What does the writer want to show me? Not what does the writer want to tell me. What does the writer want to show me? Okay, so maybe for me, it wants to show me that Delia, no, not Delia felt thick and heavy. It wasn't very hot. That doesn't work. The heat was literally thick and heavy. No, that's not what they want to show us, because heat, we can't see heat, so it can't actually be thick, because what does thick look like if it's heat? The heat felt thick and heavy. It felt very, very thick. It felt very humid. Okay. Um, okay. The rest of this was quite accurate, so I'm not going to go through that stuff. I just wanted to go through the stuff where you guys experienced some difficulty, where you struggled, especially there. You see there's a 20% accuracy there, so you guys weren't very accurate there. So I just want, so that the most important thing that you need to note, that I'd like you to learn from this video, is these two things or three things, okay? The first thing is, read the questions first. Okay, so even when you're writing a normal test at school, read the questions first and then read the comprehension, okay? And see how that changes the way that you answer your questions, first of all. Second of all, when it talks about language features, it's actually talking about figures of speech, okay? The intention of language features is to show you, not to tell you. That's what's important. So when you are thinking about the effect of a figure of speech, then you are thinking about, what is the writer trying to show me? What do they want me to see in my mind's eye? Okay. So I hope that you've taken these things down. And then at the end of this video, when you're done watching this video, we're going to go back onto the call, and then you are going to ask me any additional questions. We're just going to discuss this video for the lesson. That's going to be the lesson for today. Okay. Have a good day, ladies.